Adi, and today it's such a privilege to have the most happening and wanted person of NetApp, who is Maya Zakur. I don't have to actually give an introduction to Maya Zakur. She's like even a little kid who's working in Jitex would know who are you. However, on an official note, she's the director at NetApp, and it's such a privilege for us to have you today here. So today, I think we would have a discussion based on women in technology and leadership, etc. So, Nidhi, over to you. What would you like to know from Maya?
Quick introduction about myself. I'm with Income Micro for the past 5 years. I look into marketing for the wonderful vendor like NetApp, and Maya has really pushed me to do so much in marketing. I take inspiration from you. One question that I have is, what inspired you to get into the tech industry?
Uh, First of all, thank you. Thank you, ladies, for having me. And Nidhi, big thank you for all your great support. And I'm happy that I inspired you somehow and hope that will inspire more ladies in the IT industry. I grew up in a family where I learned one thing that is very important: be humble and work on your legacy, because that's what matters. Money can come and go, but what matters is what you do, and always believe in God, and remember that He's watching you. So when you do something, do it right, and not for any gains, right? So it's not for money or for anything specific. So what inspired me, it was first of all, I always looked very high to my dad, who started from nothing. He was asked to be out of school at a young age, and he grew to build a fortune for us. And I always wanted to be someone like him. That's the main inspiration for me, and not necessarily or specifically with IT. But then I had, like maybe the STEM discussions with one of my math teachers, which I loved math and I wanted to do any major that relates to math. And back home, it was like you have to be a doctor or an engineer, and computer engineering was a new trend. So my parents didn't understand what does it mean computer at that time, but yeah, I chose this major, and not really knowing what to expect when I finish. I just remember one of the advisors at college. He told me that you will certainly find a good job once you graduate, because that's the trend. And that would make me look a little bit old now, but yeah, it's been 2 decades I've been in the IT industry, and I'm thankful and grateful for the experience. It taught me a lot, and not necessarily only in IT, but it taught me as well on how you drive results, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's at work, and you can achieve and you can grow no matter what, right? I always aspired to be a famous person, maybe the president of my home country. But I always looked at the mirror and I knew that's me, Maya. I'm not a model. I'm not going to be in fashion. I love fashion, but I don't have maybe the criteria that puts me on that route. So it was like, yes, you can do anything from any place you are. It's like the seat that you're sitting on doesn't define you. It's your voice. It's how you want to do things differently. And that's what I did from the IT industry. I achieved what I wanted. I was covered with several magazines on cover pages, and people made fun of it or not, but it was something I aspired for, and people around me inspired me. It was unfortunately at that time, and I'm speaking 2 decades ago, it was more like men in the industry that always supported me, always challenged my brain, challenged what I can do. And I always had a strong character and a voice to say no, or to say I believe in this or I don't believe in that. And yeah, mainly men in the industry. I can name few. We have Dr. Ali here. Looking at him, seeing him, after all what he's done in his career, still he wakes up very early in the morning, running to meetings, meeting with everyone. Every minute he sees me, like, he taps on the shoulder and he said, I'm proud of you. This keeps you going on, and you need such people in your life. So it's not really necessarily a woman, but if it's a woman, it makes it even better. You need because maybe they understand you, and maybe at NetApp I'm lucky because I work for in an organization, EMEA. It's led by a woman. We have Giovanna, and then for the partner organization, it's also led by another woman. It's Jenny, and they are both strong women. Which, when I look at myself, it's like, oh, you still have like
A long way.
a long way to go. So I hope I gave you a bit of inspiration as well.
Of course, the supermodel bit, you don't have to tell us. We know it. That's why we have you.
Yeah.
Okay. That leads to my second question. What I want to know is, you just mentioned, women who are already in power in high places. What do you think the tech industry can do or support for them for their growth? I'm not sure how, because I still am learning about a lot of how the industry functions. So I just want to understand, how does the IT industry, do you think, can support women grow further in the tech world?
Yeah. To be honest, and that's my humble and personal opinion, it's not the industry and it's not anything in the world. It's really you. It's whatever you want to do, you have to fight for it and get your seat on that table. Otherwise, we're going to put the blame on the industry. It's IT, it's a man dominated world. But then you go everywhere in healthcare, in every industry. You see, like, equality is not maybe in general there, right? So, um, but from IT perspective, I think it should start with us. When we hire for any new positions, we shouldn't be biased. We should give the right position for the right person, whether it's a woman or. What we can do is make it a bit easier, because as a woman, like, I understand we have families, we have more responsibilities. I believe, like, I could see my mother in my life. She was the person who was managing the house, right, from every single bit of it. And we still have this responsibility. But because we do it good, we can do it as well, even better at work. So, in my opinion, it should start with me, with us as a woman leader today, to give this flexibility as well to the woman joining the team, having the flexibility, working from home, working from the office, as long as, we get the best out of the brain of the person. That's what matters for me. And I'm committed on giving that opportunity to someone. I think you both know we have Noor
Yes.
in the team, um, and she comes from the Z generation, which is as well. It's a different, I think, diversity
Yeah,
challenge
new.
that we have. Right? It's not like only a woman. It's the Z generation. It's the way they think, the way they want their freedom, their creativity. We need to give room to this. Yes, in some areas you still see some management which they are still like in a world where you don't have to voice your creative ideas because they are too creative, or maybe it doesn't fit the longer term strategies and stuff. But I think the world is changing and there is room for everyone.
So Maya, you mentioned you thrived for 2 decades, which is a really long time, and I know the kind of grace and grit that you've had in your entire career. So my question to you is, women in leadership. I don't see a lot of women. You got to be very powerful and strong to get there. So, what is your take on how does leadership work for women, and do you see a lot of upcoming decision making or change in an era where we would see much more faces in the leadership sector?
Look, if I look today, we're in UAE, we're in GITEX. There are women. Yesterday, I was in an event and I could see 5 or 6 ladies that they were awarded.
Okay.
She leads inspiration, or that was the category.
Okay.
And I could see people that when I was at Microsoft, like Sandra, was on stage as well. So this gives me the confidence that yes, we will see a more woman leader in the industry. But again, I feel like it's you. You want to be a leader, don't. If you're shy, you cannot
Yeah.
be a leader. My parents used to say as well, if you're shy, you don't make kids. It's the same thing. If you're shy and you don't really prove to the world that you can do, you will always be like following and you will never lead. To be a leader, you need to take an initiative and prove yourself through it, and then you can. There will be some bumps across the road, and that's normal. I had so many tough days in my life. Maybe sometimes you feel like crying, but then God gives you so many reasons to be thankful and to keep smiling and looking forward for your next. Look always at the bigger picture. You know, there will be some people that they will put you down because maybe you're so creative or maybe you're so good, but it's not the end of the world. And that's something I learned. You know, you have your roadmap, but you need, if you really have this target at the end of the day and you want to reach it, you can have alternative routes. You know, I've done computer engineering, and one of the main things I took with me, it was the if statement. The if statement is like the logic.
The
If
code we write
yes,
with
the
the if
code we
statement.
write, if statement. If this doesn't work, then
This.
something else would work. But if this doesn't work, then something else would work. And that's how we live, right? So
Yeah.
there should be things that wouldn't work. As long as you don't give up, you learn and you continue. That's what define you. But yeah, I've been with different managers, different people, different way of thinking. Some they like me, some they don't like me. Your strong character and personality as well sometimes intimidates others. But you know, as long as you're a good person and people get to know you, you build that environment around you, support functions that will always lift you. And I feel like I'm grateful and thankful because I have a support system around me,
Right.
including you ladies,
Yes,
because you always
Swagger.
are here to change.
Yes, I think women supporting each other is a must-do thing these days, and
It's important.
It's important,
Yeah.
and it actually gives a very different energy when there's a woman supporting you, right? Yeah.
But we should all start supporting each other. It's a common thing, you know, or it's known that women don't really lift each other, don't really support each other. There will always be something to criticize, and maybe this is where we have to start before asking others to support us or to lift us. It starts with us as well.
Because I think we as people, for us, that whole day begins when you start talking to a woman in the office, or you have a friend, and I think that makes a lot of difference to handle the stress and things going around in office, right?
So it's always, good to have a girl gang. Turn to the girl gang.
Nowadays,
very
that's a
important.
lot in hype, right? You got to have your girl
Girl
gang.
gang.
You need to go out with your girls.
Yeah.
You need to talk. Because I think most of us women, we just shrink down to our families and work. We don't actually create something outside work for us. So, yeah.
Okay, one question to both the ladies. What do you think about GITEX this year?
Jitex, maybe this year I celebrate my 20th, maybe, or 20. Yeah, it's been more than 20 years I've been coming to Jitex. I recall my first Jitex, it was maybe as big as today, but of course not on this scale. It's always good opportunity to meet and network with people in the industry, to meet with your customers, with your partner. It's tiring, but it's
Oh, yes.
rewarding.
Tell me about it.
I think it's a must. I love still Jitex, so it's maybe a proof that although I've been attending 20 years Jitex, I'm still
Still
here.
excited to come back here, right? No
She's
matter
still
what the
energetic.
chaos is.
Yeah, so I think it's a must. It's something nice. A little bit, some people in Europe, exhibitions. It's maybe an old trend, but not in the Middle East, right? People love this. People, they want to see the latest in one place. They want to network with each other, and we have a lot in Jitex, especially. For example, with NetApp with you, the creativity, it's at its best, like the track that you created, and linking it for our next steps. It is nice. It is a must. I don't know what about you.
So I think for me, though people come here for technology, I am one of that person who come here for people because I get excited. You bump into so many faces that you actually don't go and meet. So this is like a hypermarket for all the people in the industry, and it excites me to come here because I mean you meet people whom you don't imagine. So this time for me, Jitex is people because I give a lot of weightage to relationships and. People. So I'm here to see the people, have a good laugh with them, and yeah, there is NetApp and the technology which we come along with it. It's a great investment that NetApp is doing with Ingram Micro team. I'm so thankful that we've been so consistent with making amazing creative stuff. So and the support we get from NetApp is so good. So thank you so much, Maya.
Pleasure. I think this year's special as well because the timing of Jitex falls very well with our Insight, where we had lots of launches and the latest from NetApp. And not everyone, because Insight happened in Vegas in the US, so not all the partners, all the customers had the chance to travel all the way. So by networking with us, by reaching to us maybe here at Ingram or at NetApp, we can share with them the latest and all our newest technologies. So this time is special because in the past it used to be Jitex then Insight. So this time is a bit more special
Yes.
because we have announced all the latest specifically on AI, on the cloud. We're as well with Microsoft this year. It's another special thing. I will be later on there. So yeah, looking forward to meet with more of our alliances, partners, and customers.
Great. Maya, I just have one last question. I know I'm taking too much of your time, but I just want to know what is that one message that you would give the young Gen Z, the millennials who want to get into the tech world?
I would say today, tech world is the place to be. Um, it's as I said in a previous interview, it you're working with measurable results, right? So it's not like you're just at work and you have to be from 9 to 6 or whatever timing. So you have the room to achieve in the IT industry specifically, and with AI, all our forecasting, our the way we measure people, it is all with the right tools, which measures your contribution to your work, and not just by being in a place. So I would say it is a place that you need to consider. But as an advice, don't be shy. Speak up and explore. Life is about exploring, and don't be afraid from trying. As I say always, we learn and we don't fail. So learning is the key. At school or at college, we start with KG1. Down the lane, some kids, they have to repeat their year, but at the end they achieve, right? So
Yeah.
same with the IT industry. Try, at least try, because it's not only coding like I started, but today it is about sales, about marketing, about product technologies, about exploring how you can be really a relevant a person in this society, right? When we speak AI, you need to understand what's AI. If you're a young person and trying to be part of this society, if everything is AI today, and where you want to be, right? So this is my a
So,
bit of
Nidhi, I have a question for you. So, for the marketing gang, like Jitex is the event, right? So it's like your days are here. So, from a marketing perspective, what do you look at Jitex as, and you personally, how do you look at Jitex?
See, Jitex for me, I feel it's not only Jitex. What about the 5 days? It's what about what we do in the before the 5 days. Like
Okay.
how we put the show, the kind of creativity, the hard work, the efforts. How do we do it better? It's everything about being creative, and marketing is always the face of the company, so it is the face of what we do. So I really enjoy the preparation bit And the 5 days, I know it's very tiring and hectic, but I love it because, like Maya and you were just mentioning, we get to see so many people in the industry, right? And we get this opportunity to showcase what we are good at. So
Right.
I really enjoy these 5 days of Genetics.
And thank you for all what you do for us. It's special. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate you too.
Thanks,
Priyanka.
Maya.
Thank you for the time. I think it was a bit longer.
Maya,
Yes.
I know you had a crazy schedule, and thank you so much for coming here. And
Pleasure.
we appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank
We hope to see you one more time. I think this is our second podcast together.
Yes.
So
Last
hopefully
year we
next-
had one also.
Yeah,
Yes.
so hopefully next year
Hope
together.
we will have 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Signing
Thank
off.